How can I write an ad that will sell my product or service in a way that makes me money? How can I write an ad that will give me a profit? This is a question I get asked a lot. Some people struggle with this. In fact, quite a lot of people struggle with this. And the good news is that you don't need to struggle. And that's what this video is for. I'm going to show you now how you can get started without being a copywriting expert and writing your own ad right now within the next 5 minutes. I write an ad that will sell, that will resonate with your buyers, that will push their emotional buttons and make them want to buy from you. Here are the building blocks. Number one, you got to know what your product is. So is it a product that helps people with a sleeping disorder? Is it a product that helps people get a six-pack? You got to know what your product is. It's fundamental, it's basic, but you've got to know it. Okay. Number two, you've got to know the general benefit of your product or service. What is it helping them do, or what is it helping them avoid? Is it helping them lose belly fat? Is it helping them sleep all the way through the night? Is it helping them avoid something? Is it helping them to avoid having negative feelings about themselves? This kind of thing. That's the general one. And then we want to know the specific details of your the benefits and the things that people avoid when they use your product. Now, to delve into this more in depth, I'm just going to head over to the computer and I'm going to show you a simple framework that you can use to write the perfect, I was going to say the perfect ad, but it's not really the perfect ad. It's an ad that makes you a profit, that turns you a profit. Too many people get caught up in this idea of writing something that is perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to work. It has to resonate, and that's with your prospects. It has to make you a profit, of course, and that's what I'm going to show you in just a second. I'm going to jump on the computer and show you a very simple framework for writing an ad that converts. So we've just talked about the idea of making an ad, writing an ad that sells, that converts, that makes you a profit, that turns you a profit. And we've lost the idea of it being perfect. We just need it to be good. We just need it to be effective. We just need it to make us money. Not perfect, just effective. So how can we do that? The basic way we do it is to get into our prospect's head. We get into what they're thinking about, what they're worried about, what their fears are, what their concerns are, and what they're looking to achieve, what their goals are. We want to know what they don't want as much as what they do want. Remember also, we want to create an ad that doesn't sell the spade. We're not selling the actual thing, we're selling the benefit of the spade. So we're not selling the spade, we're selling the hole, okay? And I'm going to show you how we can do that now in a very simple framework using a very simple strategy that anyone can use for almost any product, any niche, any type of product or service in the world, okay? I'm going to show you now on the computer. Now remember here, we're looking to get into the mind of our buyers so we can craft an ad that converts, that sells. And Amazon is a great place to get into your buyer's mind. So let's say you're selling a product that helps you get a six-pack. Go along to Amazon, type in the benefit of the thing that people get when they buy or use your product or service. What's the benefit or what's the goal that people have when they buy or use your product or service? In this case, the benefit or the goal is a six-pack. So I've typed in six-pack into Amazon. I've found myself a result with lots of reviews. There's 1,653 reviews for this product that is connected to getting a six-pack. Now, it doesn't matter if my product is anything like this product. It's not the product that matters, it's the area that it covers, and it covers the six-pack. And that is what my product will also cover. It doesn't matter if my product is a training service or some hardware or whatever. It doesn't matter. What we're looking for is to get into our prospects' minds, and this is where we do it on Amazon. So I'm going to go over to the AdFlex page, and we're going to look. I'll just move this over at some of the things that people are saying and some of their fears, some of their concerns, and we're going to use this to draw up a little cheat sheet, if you like, that we can use to get into our prospect's head. So one thing they're worried about is the size of the belt.
That may or may not apply to you, but if you're selling a belt yourself, you could mention in your ad, you could write as one of the benefits is that you could mention the measurement range that it covers. So up to 48 inches or 122 centimeters could be seen as a benefit. Here's a good question. Can this be used on the thighs? This is clearly a question that people are concerned about. Can your product that helps people get a good six-pack, can it be used to help them develop their thighs? If it can, great. List that as a benefit. So you can write in your list of benefits, things people get, it's not only for the abs, it's also for the thighs. What does this person say? Will this make my stomach have abs? Kind of a basic question, but that's what people are concerned about. Will this ab product help me get abs? Yes. Let's move over. These are great, by the way. There's lots of questions. You can see here, there's 225 answered questions. So you just click that button, you scroll through all of the questions, or as many of the questions as you can stand to look at without losing the will to live, and you look at what people are concerned about, and you think, well, how does my product relate to these questions? Does my product solve or resolve any of these questions and fears? Okay, so then we can go over to the reviews, and we can see often the benefits of the product, the things that they're trying to achieve, and you can see here, relieve lower back pain. So what do? If your product, and this is an important detail, your product needs to, the things that you say your product does, it needs to actually do. But let's say, for example, that you have a product that helps people develop a six-pack, and you know as a byproduct it can also relieve lower back pain. Well, that is a benefit, and that benefit could go into your ad. What else have we got? An amazing piece of equipment. You can feel it working already. Okay, so that is also a benefit as well. You could say something like, many of our clients feel results within days. Something vague like that might be okay to say, as long as you're not making any specific claims that you can't justify. And you just keep going through the reviews, through the questions, through the answers, and you enter the mind of your prospect, the person who you want to sell to. And an important thing is you're going to be looking at their language, okay? The way this person has written here, in very simple terms, in very kind of human terms, the way a normal person would write, you might benefit from copying this exact style of writing. If this is a common way of people writing, a basic kind of level that people have when they're writing about your product, that is, maybe, you'll know this better than I will, the way that your target customer speaks. So this is maybe the way you want to speak to them. So any information you can gain about what your prospects are thinking, what their concerns are, what their fears are, what they're looking to achieve, what they're looking to avoid, and how they speak are things and elements that you can add to your ad. And then, once you've gone through all of these lists of reviews, questions, answers, you will have on a piece of paper, on your computer, a whole list of positive things that people get from your service and negative things that they avoid when they use your product or service. Remember, whatever you write down and whatever you put in your ad, you might get an idea from here, but you need to make it relevant to the product or service that you're providing. You may choose to list all the things that all the good things that your prospect gets when they buy your product or service, or just highlight a few key elements. Whatever you decide to do, be sure that if you are going to list the things that people get when they buy or subscribe to your product or service, that you list the things that they get as a benefit or in a way that makes your prospects curious to learn more. What we're not doing in this bit of preparation for writing our ad is we're not just writing a dry list of contents. Now, here's an example of how I did this for a free book I gave away recently. This is from an ad, directly taken from an ad that I created and sold. I didn't sell, I actually gave away a book from this ad. And here's how I did it. I wrote down some of the things, not all of the things. Bear in mind we're going from page 2 to page 73 in around about 10 or 12 bullet points. I just picked out the things that I thought, this might make people curious to download this book. This might be something that you could see as a benefit. If now is the most important moment for my business, maybe I should get this free book off Mike. How you compare to your competition, curiosity. Why nearly half of all websites are missing out on significant revenue, also curiosity. The only requirement for improving your website, more curiosity, and also a benefit. So you can see here how I made a bullet point list of what I thought were the most important and most interesting things within my the book that I gave away, but it doesn't need to be a giveaway, it can be the thing that you're selling. And I listed them all here in easy to read bullet points, and I even referred to the pages in which they would find them. That's a nice touch if what you're giving or selling is an ad, it is a book rather. If you're selling a book, then obviously referring to the book, to the pages is good. If it's a video course, you could mention at the hours or minute stage. If that isn't relevant, then of course you just focus on the benefits, the things they get, and anything that you think will make them curious to learn more. So you can and maybe should, when you're preparing to write an ad that will make money, that will turn a profit, is create a short list of content, the interesting, exciting, curiosity-arousing content of the thing that you are selling or giving away. So that's basically how we can have a quick shortcut into our prospects' minds, how we can quickly work out what their fears are, what their goals are, what they're trying to gain, what they're trying to avoid, what the issues are with other people's products that may relate to ours. We've basically, by going along to places like Amazon, we've got into our prospects' heads. Now, there are other techniques, there are other ways of doing that. You can go along to Google, you can type in the benefit of your product plus the word forum. So you could type in, for example, weight loss forum, six-pack forum, sleep apnea forum, right? Just add the word forum to either the problem that your product is solving or the benefit of your product, plus the word forum. Go along to the forums. There'll always be hundreds of results, Google results, for whatever the problem is that you're solving. And you will find a ton of insight into the way people are thinking, in the concerns they have, in the issues they have with other products, and you can use that information to get into people's minds and to make that cheat sheet list of the benefits of your product, the things that your product, the problems that your product solves, and the things that people avoid when they use your product. And remember, writing an ad doesn't have to be difficult. What you really need to do is write the thing. Make sure you just get it done. Get a list of the good things about it, get a list of the things it avoids, and you will already be inside your prospects' heads. Start the ad off typically with a question. You don't have to start with a question, but if in doubt and you're not sure how to start your ad with a question. The human brain is programmed to respond to questions. Now, people can choose to not answer, but they can't choose to ignore it. People will never ignore a question. So if your ad is a question and it's related to your product or service or a benefit of your product or service, you've already started the conversation in people's mind, and that is half the battle. A few common angles, if you like. How to X without Y. So how to gain a six-pack without exercising 5 times a week. The truth about X. So the truth about weight loss. The truth about sleep apnea. The truth about, I don't know, things like that. How X works better than anything I've tested in the last 23 years. So this is kind of like your latest news.
get in people's faces. It's like, this has just happened, or breakthrough. These kind of hooks are a good way to start your ad. Everything you've been told about X is wrong. So everything you've been told about six packs is wrong. These are good angles as well. But don't worry too much. The main thing is that you've got a headline. The first few lines of your ad make people stop and think. That when you read it, it makes you stop and think. If it makes you stop and think, chances are it'll make them stop and think. So that's your headline. Your body is the main text of your ad is going to cover the things your product or service does, the things that it avoids, the benefits, and if you are doing a long copy ad, so an ad with lots of text, then you can do a list of the things they get when they buy your product or service. Just try not to make it a dry list. Try and make it a list that makes them curious to learn more and underlines the benefits of your product or service. And of course, try to talk to people in a way that seems natural. You've looked at the forums maybe now, you're going to look at the Amazon reviews. You know how people are communicating who consume your product. Communicate them in the same way. Make sure that the language style that you use in your ads is the same language style that they see on the web page that they click on, what they see when they click on after your ad. Okay? Keep the language consistent, keep the language simple, and you should be in a good place.